Where do you see myself 10 years from now? That's a long time, 10 years. I don't know. One thing for sure is that I want to do more music. I want to be a place where I feel like I have created a space basically where people themselves can become better people, where I can inspire people to also, if they go on a healing journey themselves, get support if they need, take care of their mental health. But yeah, making more music, creating really. And je serai toujours jeune. Oui. Après, tu sais, la jeunesse, c'est un état d'être. Hein. C'est pas que l'âge. But it's to continue inspiring people, continuing to support people who deserve support, and I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'd love to do that for a long time. To do this actually for a long time. And music, art, traveling, stuff like that. But 10 years is a lot of years. I'm someone who I have like dreams, right, of things I would love to do or to experience in my life. And I try to make decisions in my life as much as possible to get closer to these dreams / goals as much as I can. But sometimes they can change depending on the moment. But overall, I just want to be happy. I just want to be peaceful, be peaceful, and also bring peace. I'm so tired of all of drama, honestly. But yeah, it's mainly that, and doing the things I love, basically. That's what's most important to me. Maybe my vision is a bit. I know it's it has an idealistic side, and trust me, I do have this thoughts where, it's not as positive, and because I have these thoughts that are not always positive, I try to, I try to choose the more positive ones. But yeah, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, and it's definitely not without challenges and obstacles. But it is what it is, and yeah. My favorite color? That's a difficult question, actually. I like red. Reds I like. But I also like blue and like red, blue, purple, kind of that. I like so for red, not necessarily like the bright red, but more like the darker and like a rich red. If that makes sense. Like kind of like my username color. Like the red in my emote, or like my username red, kind of that kind of red, type of red. But not necessarily like the bright red, Yeah. What's it like being bilingual? Yeah, so I don't know if you know this, but I speak French, English, and I speak a bit German, but yeah, French and English. How is it like being bilingual? It depends. It's good in a sense where I can like understand more languages, and I can yeah. But and you know, it's easy to switch between two languages. However, sometimes it can be a bit like not necessarily negative, but it's more like sometimes I forget words. Sometimes I would forget words in French. Like I would like have the English word in my head. I was like, what's it like in French already? You know, again, or the opposite can happen. And sometimes it even happens now with German, where it's like, I know this word in German. What is it? What is it in French? And so yeah, that is that can be it's necessarily a problem, but it's more like a thing. But I'm good at like switching between languages. I mean, you know, Franglish, right? But I think I'm pretty good with languages in general. Because I've also studied German for 10 years. So I'm not necessarily fluent in German, but it's like I mean, I can understand a lot of German. I'm comfortable enough in German. Favorite food? I don't know if I have one favorite food, but probably sushi. Sushi, I love sushi. RJ! Hello, how are you doing? RJ. Yeah, sushi, I love sushi. I think I could eat a lot of sushi. Yeah, sushi, I think. I'd say. I'm trying to think of other foods. I mean, raclette. Raclette is another favorite of mine. I like raclette. Speaking of raclette, I need to eat that soon. I mean, I need to make a raclette thing. Raclette is life, okay. Raclette and sushi, probably. What do you think of pineapple pizza? I think we've asked that to me before. What do I think? It is. It's not. It wouldn't be my first choice. Although, when I was younger, I did eat Hawaiian pizzas. But I think it depends on the pizza. I think it depends on how the pizza is made. When I was a kid, I used to like it. But now, no, it wouldn't be my choice. But I accept people who enjoy, you know, I mean, you know, like pineapple on pizza is less weird to me than kiwi on pizza. Some people eat kiwi on pizza, you know. Good. Chris is like, good. Okay, good. I can stay now. No, like, you know, I would not have it now, but I accept people who do. It's just like, you know, it's better than having kiwi or something, you know, like, you know. What is Singapore like to live in? Well, do you want the honest answer, Chris, or do you? No, Singapore is a great country, but it has changed a lot from when I was younger. There's a lot less greeneries. Like it's a lot more. Like there's a lot more. They've built so many things throughout the years. Including the casino, which was not there before. And so it's a lot more like it was modern before, but it's a lot more modern in the sense where they built so many skyscrapers and all. And it's really sad because like there's a huge turnover with stores there now. You can have like a favorite store and then 2 years later it can be gone, you know, that type of thing, which is a bit sad. And and also it's very, very crowded. There's so many people and so many French people in Singapore. Actually, there are so many French people in Singapore. I went to French school there. There's a French school there. You know Singlish or Malay? I do not know Malay, but my grandmother was Malay. I mean, I know some Singlish, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna speak it for you, RJ. But I don't really speak Singlish very much. I don't really like it. I don't know. Like, I think that Singapore is probably one of the safest countries to live in. So, you know, like in terms of safety, like, there's not, like, I think, especially if you have kids and for safety, Singapore is probably one of the safest and cleanest country you can ever raise a child in. Because, yeah, it's very, very safe. However, for me, I mean, it's not however, but it's just like sometimes especially, yeah, sometimes it's a bit too safe, you know, like people are a bit too rigid, I would say. But that's just my opinion, I guess, because I've also lived in France and all. And so sometimes they're a bit like, they don't dare do things as much, and they're not very adventurous usually. Although a lot of Singaporeans now do study abroad, so it is changing. But and it's very crowded now. It's so crowded. The peak hours is horrible. It's so crowded everywhere. Now it was nicer. I think it was nicer before because there was more greeneries around, and yeah, it was a little nicer, I think. It depends. But yeah, Singapore has definitely, I have definitely seen and witnessed Singapore's development and throughout the years. It's been, yeah, it's been significant for sure. But yeah, I don't know if you know this, but Singapore has 4 like what's it, cultures, I would say. Malay, Chinese, Hindi, Indian, and British. But I think French is now the 5th, because like there's so many French people in Singapore. There are so many French people. I think when you're in Singapore, you can't do 5 steps without hearing French. Like, like it's impossible. So yeah, it's there's a lot of French people. So I think French is probably the 5th language. Yeah, a lot of French people go there to open startups. There's a lot of French startups in Singapore. A lot of French expats. Hydration. A lot of French expats. A lot of French, like what's it called? Yeah, just a lot of French in general. Yeah. But there's a lot of expats in Singapore. There are a lot of also like Australian expats. There's also a lot of British expats, a lot of Australian. Yeah, there's a lot of expats in Singapore. Would you like to get a pet one day? Yes, I would. And just what kind? I mean, I love cats and dogs. I mean, I don't like. I loved horses. I've always loved horses. I love cats. And I love dogs, so I don't really have a... I don't think I'm allergic. I don't think I'm allergic. Do you have any favorite hobbies you want to share with people don't yet know about? I mean, I don't know what you guys know about, but I love scuba diving. Scuba diving is one of my favorite hobbies. Oh, okay, a cocktail. Okay. 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 Yeah, okay. I see what you mean. I love scuba diving. I don't know if you guys knew that. Scuba diving is one of my favorite hobbies. I love scuba diving. I could do that. I could paint, and like if I could just play music, painting, and scuba diving, I would be very happy. I would be a very happy person. I would be a very happy person. No, yeah, I have dived in some great places in Thailand. If you're a diver, by the way, in Thailand, I recommend Sail Rock. Incredible stuff. Spot. Yeah, no, if I could just do that, I would be a very happy person. Like, and I also like well, I don't know if it's much of a hobby, but I like psychology. Like I like yeah, I like thinking about stuff. What other hobbies do I have? I have a country bucket list, yes. I do. I mean, yeah, I do. You never do scuba diving? Usually, I honestly, I really recommend scuba diving. It's so nice. It is so nice. Scuba diving. Self-psychology or trying to analyze. A bit of both, I guess. I mean, sometimes it's a bit, yeah. I just, yeah. I'm just very good at observing people. Yeah. But what other hobbies do I have? But I guess it's more like, I mean, it's psychology in a sense where it's more like self-development kind of thing, you know? It's more like a self-development. What else do I like? I also enjoy deep conversations, which I don't get a lot of, but I love deep conversations. I love you know, talking about things. Who is Derrida? I don't know Derrida. Foucault? I don't know them. Am I supposed to know them? Hold on. Let me Google that. Oh, are they a psychologist? Like, I don't necessarily read books and all, but I do like to ponder on things. They're philosophers. Okay. I like to ponder on things, if it makes sense. I like to reflect on things. What other hobbies do I have? I mean, I love painting, drawing, and all those things. I used to do short films. I don't know if you knew this, but I used to do a lot of filming and videos, and I was in like a TV club at university, and I did short films and stuff. I have hobbies, but it's like, yeah, it depends. Yeah, there are a lot of places I want to go to still. I mean, I just need the funds. I'd love to do IRL streams and bring you to the countries, but I just need funds, which I don't have much of at the moment, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And Pokemon would be a hobby. Yes, I mean, you all knew that, I think. But yes, Pokemon would be the hobby. I mean, collecting Pokemon things. Honestly, Pokemon has always been one of the things that made me happy. Honestly, I could be sad, and like the only thing that could like make me happy is watching Pokemon or anything related to Pokemon makes me happy. And yeah, Harry Potter also makes me happy. Harry Potter in like, you know, in another life, I would have loved to be a wizard, like an auror or some kind. You know, Horseback ride. I also, I don't know if you knew this, but I used to do a lot of horse riding as well. I played polo a little bit, and I did a lot of horse riding for a couple of years. I stopped mostly because of I was lazy to wake up at 6 a.m. and on a Saturday, and also of money, financial reasons. But yeah, and I don't have a car, so I don't own a car, which is required to go horseback riding. Read books. I actually used to love to read. I need to read more. I need to read more books. I actually used to read. I used to read a lot of books. I used to collect books. I had a whole libraries of books. I read a lot of fantasy books and like adventure type of books. But now I like to read more like real life stories and stuff like that. I'm in a mix, I guess. I've played recorder and piano too. Yeah, I started learning piano as well. I'd love to, like, I mean, if I could, I'd love to learn all the instruments, really. Like the bass. Like the bass, I love to learn. Yeah, there's so many things. I mean, I want to try it all, I guess. I did try fencing. I love rock climbing. Also, although I haven't rock climbed in so long, I love rock climbing. I love skiing. Also, one of the things I love skiing. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love skiing. Actually, I'm quite an active person, even though, like, you know, but it's just like for some reason, I tend to enjoy the sports that are expensive. You know what I mean? Like I tend to like I enjoy the sports that are not the cheapest. Horseback riding, scuba diving, and like skiing. That's, yeah, they're not the cheapest sports. Unfortunately. Art is also not the cheapest activity. Maybe if I come here a lot, I can get a new hobby. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm a believer that you should do whatever makes you feel happy. Like, you know, if for example writing brings you joy and happiness, you should do that. You know, if you want to try, I don't know, something, you should try it. Like, you know, it's always, it's fine, it's okay to try, and like, you know, if you don't like it, that's totally okay, but at least you have tried it, you know. That is how I think. If it doesn't work out, or you end up not liking it, or even if it's not even if it's not something you do like every week, like, you know, regularly, at least you would have tried it, and you would have found out for yourself if you enjoy it. Because like, you know, I'm someone who I like to find out for myself. Like I like to make my own opinion on things. Usually, I don't really like to base myself off of what people think. Make a perfect wife. She cooks and paints and sings. I mean, cooking cooking depends, Alice. Cooking would be, yes, I can follow recipes that I can do. Do I enjoy? It depends. I enjoy cooking. I don't enjoy cleaning up. So, yes. That's the thing I don't enjoy. But yeah, so like, yeah, I'm someone who I like to you know, see for myself. I don't like to base my judgment off of what people are saying. I think I like to make my own judgment on things, like movies or music and stuff like that. As-tu une passion que tu n'assumes pas? Do I have a hobby that I don't like? Comment on dit on n'assume pas? That I don't comment on dit assumer? That I don't yeah, like a guilty hobby. Maybe? I know. Maybe. No, yeah, yeah. No. No, it's more like a hobby that you don't really talk about a lot or something. You don't admit liking. I mean, maybe. No, but yeah, I enjoy like, you know, I was talking about spiritual stuff, and I enjoy like all that's around the spirituality stuff, if you know what see what I mean. Like I yeah, and maybe TikTok. TikTok would be one of those I do spend, but like, yeah, it's more like you know, I do I'm interested a lot in, like, you know, I never necessarily, not necessarily astrology, but more like, you know, birth charts and like also like the, you know, energies, you know, stuff like that, and like, no, no, not that. No, it's more like you know, it's more like you know, tarot reading and stuff like that. I don't practice myself, but I do sometimes. Yeah. But yeah. No, not like that, but more like, you know, but it's more for, it's more about self-development kind of thing, you know. And learning about my own energy, if you know what I mean, if you see what I mean, like my own spirituality, if you can say it like that. What do I think about the center of Paris? Do you mean Paris in general or specifically the center, RJ? Qu'est-ce qu'on pense de Paris? I mean, it's no, Paris is a beautiful city. Okay, Paris is a beautiful city. On aime Paris, sauf quand le métro, sauf le métro. The touristy bits. Okay. The main shopping street, for example. No, I think Paris is a beautiful city. I think it's a great destination for tourists. But yeah, sometimes I just feel like they could put a bit more effort, you know. Like, sometimes I feel ashamed of some things, and I'm like, you could like, you like, sometimes I'm like, if I'm struggling, I think about tourists, I'm like, poor tourists. Il y a moins que Créteil. Oui, c'est vrai. Yeah, because Nakito is in Créteil. It's a different world in Créteil. But no, Central Paris is nice. It can get crowded, but not like in New York, I would say. But I mean, Paris is busy quite around the year. The only thing is that I'm so sad of what they did to the Eiffel Tower. If you're coming to Paris, by the way, I apologize in advance for what they did with the Eiffel Tower, because they built this like crappy barriers. They built a thing around the Eiffel Tower because, you know, before you could walk under the Eiffel Tower, like you could just walk around and all. And I feel like you could just take photos. Now, like, you have this like freaking barriers all around the Eiffel Tower, so you can't walk through it anymore like before. Yeah, it's like a security barrier, so you have to get a ticket to enter the zone. And like, but it's also like, I mean, which is fine, but like, they could have made it nicer, you know? People are taking photos of the Eiffel Tower and you have this like horrible barrier, you know, in front, and I'm like, yeah, I apologize for that. because yeah, it's just, you know, it's just stuff like this. It's just frustrating. Come in my friend's city. We have squirrels. What up? There you go. Yeah, and yeah, that's one of the things. I apologize in advance if you come and see the Eiffel Tower. But I don't know. What do you want to know, RJ? What do you want to know? What else do you want to know? Also, yeah, tips. If you come to Paris, if you want to go to the Louvre, but you don't necessarily want to go visit the Louvre because there are shopping centers also, there is a secret entrance in the Tuileries where it doesn't require you to queue, by the way. So that's something you should, a tip for you, if you would like. Because of the barriers, it sucks. It sucks. I was like, yeah, I was not happy. And also about the metro, I apologize in advance for the metro. I heard on the radio people write letters to the Mona Lisa. I don't know about that. I don't know. I have not heard about that, RJ. Unfortunately. But yeah, it's no, it's yeah. Yeah. In winter there's a Christmas markets in Paris, but obviously they're not as nice as in Germany and all, but we have one big one near La Défense, which is the business district. And there's one in the center near the Tuileries, in the Tuileries Gardens, which is not bad. I mean, it's not a bad one, but you know, there are better, there are better Christmas markets for sure. That is a tour guide. I mean, one day we could do IRL stream in Paris, in the center. I just need to think of like you know, a good way to do that. You don't need to apologize. You know, I feel like I do, Tesno. I feel like I do. I feel like I do. I apologize. Yeah. What other cities have you lived in the world? I lived in Singapore. I've lived in Paris. I have lived in the UK, near Birmingham. I have lived in Mannheim, in Germany, which is a great place, by the way. I mean, okay, Mannheim is not the nicest city, but I absolutely loved my time in Mannheim, Germany. But where else did I live? I think that's all, right? So I don't know if you knew that you do this if you're from the UK, but because I studied in the UK and we did this thing called a jailbreak. I don't know if you know what it is, but basically it was a thing where Dover, yes, yeah, not Denver, yeah, Dover, sorry, Dover. We had to like go the furthest possible without paying money, and the goal is to collect funds for charity. And oh yeah. Okay, do you want me to tell you a story about that? So basically, we went from Birmingham, and we hitchhiked. I was with 2 other people. We hitchhiked. Somehow we found ourselves hitchhiking to. So our final destination was Paris, actually, but we could have gone to Italy. Wake for Kids is a charity for helping kids with the alope. I don't know what that is. A cancer. Some people go cut their hair to donate. Your hair will be 20 inches or more. Bleach powder. Colored must be natural hair to make wigs. Huh. I've never done anything like that before. Maybe. Maybe. I've never done anything like that before though. But it sounds interesting. Do you have a link or something? You can share on Discord if you'd like. Yeah, I'm based in France. I don't know if that applies, but yeah. So we did the jailbreak, and I now know all the major rest stops. Okay, in on the way from London to Folkestone. It was a crazy time. we spent like so many hours at the. So there's a huge rest stop right before Folkestone on that highway, motorway, as you call it there, motorway. We spent so many hours there. We spent so many hours there. And like this kind soul took us to like near London, and then another kind soul took us to Folkestone because they were going across the channel, right? But they took us to the Folkestone like rest stop, and like, but it was like midnight or something, and so but we couldn't cross because like to cross the channel, I mean, they had to pay or something, so it was a bit complicated. And so they dropped us off at the Folkestone's rest stop, and like, but they were closing. So somehow we followed some guys from like there was this Burger King that closed in, and we followed the guys to Dover. We went through like these like weird passage. It was so weird. There were so many times during that trip where we could have gotten kidnapped or something. Like honestly, it was so creepy. It was so weird. But like we went up in Dover, and like waiting for the ferry, and so we had to find like someone to take us across, the pond, and like somehow we found this guy. Okay, he was Italian or something, and I am pretty sure that he was part of the mafia or something. I'm positive that guy was, but like he was really kind. He was really kind, and like he had this like four-wheeled thing, and like. And he was the only person that we managed to convince, because basically to cross the ferry, right, they don't really you don't have to say who is in the car. You don't have to pay per person. You pay per car. And so if people had spots in their car, you can it doesn't cost them more, like because you pay for the car, not per person in the car, if it makes sense. So and he was the only person that we found that would take us, and like the guy was going to Milan, I think, and so he was like, yeah, we're gonna take like we somehow managed to negotiate and convince the guy to take us. And like we had talks with his boss. It was so weird, but like he was like nice, but I'm pretty sure he was part of a gang or something. And yeah, we were on the phone with like their boss and all. It was so weird, and we were like, okay, he's gonna take us as far as possible until the end of the race thing. And so we end up in Reims, actually, and then we took a train to Paris. But it was such a weird time. Yeah. So this is how close I've been to being involved with people from the mafia. If you wanted to story time, that's one of the story time with Letty. What is the Louvre like? That's a very good question. Busy. Busy at peak hours. And also very I've never measured my hair. So if what's the word? Full of paintings. No, but like if you plan to visit the Louvre one day, I recommend first bringing water and a good pair of trainers, and also have at least, like, you can't see everything. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have been to the Vatican before, or there are so many things in the Louvre, right? you could spend days looking at everything. And so, like, if you want to see the Louvre, if it's your first time, I mean, if you're really interested in paintings, I recommend to get a tour guide or something. You know, someone who can explain the paintings. But you know, it's okay if you don't stop at everything, because it's very it's a big museum. I have gotten lost in the Louvre multiple times, because I've had I did like exchange programs with, you know, so when I was in school I did German, and we had like exchange students from Germany, and you know, and so I did go to the Louvre often with like people to show them, and it's a huge place, and I have gotten lost in the Louvre. So yeah, just take take your time. Yeah, I don't think you can take drinks actually, but yeah, take a good pair of shoes. Good pair of shoes, it's important. No, that's true. Actually, but yeah, it's yeah. Yeah. But it's a really nice museum. It has a lot of nice paintings and nice art and statues. So it's worth going. I think it's worth going, especially if you love art and statues and stuff like that, history. You will love Louvre. But I don't think you can see everything in one day. So just be mindful of that. Yeah. But it's nice. It can be crowded also. It can be very crowded. So just yeah. But yeah. Paimon has a question. Okay. Everybody in the chat like you. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you. I got lost in Manchester Square. I have never been to Manchester, so I can't say the same. I've been to National Gallery actually in London. It's quite a nice gallery. I liked it. It's very big also. Yeah, don't go in. Wear comfortable shoes. That's very important. Because you get a lot of walking in the museum. They had swans you can get super close. There are 2 Da Vinci paintings I want to see there. Yeah, there are a lot of really nice paintings actually in the Louvre. Yeah, no, it's a nice museum. It's just very big, so just yeah, make sure you take the time to see. And you don't have to see everything in one shot. Come in my city, there's a famous 24 hours race. C'est Le Mans, Carlos. J'ai jamais été au Mans en vrai. I've never been there actually. Oh, Metagross! I want that Pokemon. Need to catch that. So yeah. Hope you've enjoyed this little talk session with Lutti. Get to know me, a bit more of me. Lutti, make notes. What? Our character Swan has promised me strawberry beer and ice cream and hugs. Okay, wait. Strawberry beer. What's strawberry? I've never had strawberry beer. Ice cream and hugs and yes, I remember about the duets. Yes, that I remember. I will try to keep tab on that. The Mona Lisa. Yeah, the Mona Lisa. It might be smaller than you imagine. By the way, just be aware of that. Just be aware that you will have a lot of people in front of it, and it's not as big in person as you think it is. But yeah, because a lot of people get disappointed. They're like, they imagine this Mona Lisa painting to be a huge thing, but it's not a very big painting actually. Yeah. Goodbye.